Hey guys, so I wanted to do a story time today. I have a lot of different stories about my life, and maybe little by little, I'll open up and share some different things with you guys, just depending on how God leads me. Um, the title of this video is Never Desire what another woman has. Never desire what another woman has. And so this is I guess this story it has a lot to do with the rejection. I've been rejected a lot in my life. For one reason or another, I now realize it was the enemy having people to reject me, trying to make me feel a certain way, like I was not worthy, like I was not good enough, all these different things. And God has been showing me little by little why these things had to take place. And the other reason for that rejection is because God wanted me to be able to tell my story and to be able to share it with other people. It was also to protect me, so many different reasons. So, like I said, I have a lot of stories. I have a lot of stories about rejection. I don't know why this situation ran across my mind this morning. Maybe it was because God wanted me to pray for this person. And so years ago, I got hired at this job, and I it was like a small just a small company that I worked for. And I don't know, for whatever reason in my life, it's always been really hard for me to make friends. Like I said, this has a lot to do with rejection, people just not accepting me. They didn't like the way I talked, didn't like the way I looked, jealousy. Um, they thought that they were better than me. It's just been so many reasons for the rejection. And so this company that I worked there. It was other females that worked there. Like I said, this was years ago. Other females that worked there, I want to say it was males and females. We were all around the same age. Um, and it's like the other people that work there, it's almost like they formed a clique. And they were just really close. They talked about everything. They hung out outside of work, and I was never really a part of that. Like, they would talk to me, but things were different with them. Like, you could tell, like, they were really friends. And so one of the women that worked there, she was a little bit older than everybody. Not a huge, it wasn't a huge gap, but she was very beautiful. Very she was married. Like I said, she had kids that were, I think she had like two kids that was grown, but the way she looked, you would not think that she had grown kids. And so, looking from the outside, you thought that this woman, she had it all together because, like I said, she was beautiful, stylish. She drove a nice car. Her husband had a really good job. She lived in one of the best neighborhoods in our city. It just seemed like this woman had it all together. And so, I ended up having to change shifts. So when I had to change shifts, the company, they kind of did a switcheroo with everyone. Me and her, we ended up getting closer and talking about this, that, and the other. But like I said, the other female, she was much closer. Like, she would invite these women to her house for like dinner and stuff like that. I never got that. And I didn't understand it, because it's like, me and you, we get along really well. I just didn't understand it. And so this just goes to show you never know what is going on in a person's mind. You never know what a person has been through. You never know what they are currently going through. And that can be projected onto you based on the things that they are going through or they have went through. And so one day she ends up, we're all just kind of talking, and she ends up somehow talking about how her husband ended up messing with this woman years prior. And the way she described the woman, she had similar physical features that I have, basically. Similar physical features that I have. And so, um, I'm like thinking in my mind, like, you're describing me. But the way she was describing this woman, it was like it was in an insultive manner. But the features, it matched up with, the features that I had, but it wasn't me. I wasn't the actual person. And so, long story short, I want to say maybe some months went by. Her husband ends up showing up at the job, and she had to go and meet him outside the job. And so I ended up having to go to the door for something. I don't know. I don't know if I went to my car. Whatever the case was, her husband was able to make contact with me. And this man, even though he was at his car, it was like he was breaking his neck to try and look at me. Like, that to me, and I've been through this before. I don't know if any women can relate to this, where you have maybe known or even seen a married man, and they will be right in front of their wife, just flat out disrespecting them. Just flat out disrespecting them because they are basically checking you out, trying to see what you have going on. And so this was the situation. Like, this man was literally breaking his neck trying to look at me. And so it was like something just clicked at that point. This is why this woman has not invited me to her house, because she didn't want her husband to come in contact with me, because she knew what her husband liked. And so I say all this to say, when people reject you, once again, you don't know why they are rejecting you. It's clear that, like I said, she didn't want her husband to come in contact with me, because she knew what type of women he liked. And my heart just kind of went out to her at that point. And like I said, God led me to pray for her. Even though this was many years ago, God led me to pray for her this morning. I don't even know, like I said, why I started thinking about that. Sometimes God just put things on my mind. But the point for this video, when people reject you, try not to take it personal, because again, you don't know the underlying issue. And so, like I said, that it when everything came together, it made sense. But you have to, when people reject you, you have to just pray for them. I know, like I said, when before all of this unfolded, I was really hurt because me and a woman had gotten really close, and she you know she took to the other women in a different way. But now, like I said, um it makes sense. It makes sense. And like I said, you try not to take things personal when people reject you, because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they are doing to keep their situation. You don't know what they had to go through to get to where they are. Is just so many different factors when it comes to rejection and people just feeling some type of way about you, some people judging you. And a lot of it has been God's protection. Like I said, I'll talk more about my rejection stories as God lead me, but over the years, just since I was a young girl, it's always been very hard for me to fit in with people. The friends that I have had over the years, um, you know, it was almost like the relationships, they were always temporary, because it was always something missing, and that was because God was not there. He was there, but I was not ready to give my life to God. And so, like I said, with this situation, it was God protecting me, but it was also the devil trying to make me feel like I wasn't good enough. Like I said, a lot of people have judged me because of the way that I have talked, and I realize even now, um the enemy, it's almost like he tried to keep a muzzle on my voice in certain things because he knew he could see what God was going to do with me. I never thought I would be on YouTube talking, giving prophetic words, talking about my life, talking about my uh, kingdom spouse or God ordained journey, just all these different things. So, the other thing is people, when they reject you, they can see certain things in you. They can see a light in you. And like I said, we have to just pray for these people because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what they've been through in the past. You don't know what they've been through to get what they have, what they're doing to keep it. And so I guess the takeaway that I want you guys to have, or just what I want you guys to take from this, just pray and ask God to bless you with a man that has only eyes for you, even if you know who your kingdom spouse, your God ordained spouse is. Ask God to bless you with the man that will only have eyes for you. Okay, if you know who your person is, may your husband only have eyes for you. Okay, I know, when I come together with my husband, I want to always feel like I'm the most beautiful woman in the world through his eyes. And that's the way it should be. But guys, just definitely put that prayer point on your list when you're praying for your husband, when you're praying for your marriage. I have a couple of different stories like this, but I just feel like it's 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 the most disrespectful thing when a man is married to a woman and he will disrespect her in front of her face because you're basically checking out another woman, but this is the enemy working through them. So we have to be able to see things on a spiritual level when certain things are happening. But guys, just feel free to comment below. I just wanted to share this story time with you guys. This is your girl Jennifer Lynn, the Crown Jewel, and I will talk with you guys next time.